Okay, first things first, you need to take the back case off of your GoPro, the battery cover. I have two GoPros so we can show you what's in here. That's simple, you just pull your battery out and you'll see they're the same. So I'm using the same model GoPro for the whole thing. This is my second GoPro I purchased before I came across this idea, and it's a fun one. I mean, it really is fun. It gives you something extra you can do with your GoPro while you wait for the repair. So you first of all carefully take out these screws here. You'll see the 4 screws in the back of your GoPro. That one's not coming out. So you get the screwdriver, the magnetic one, and just give it a wriggle. Okay, there's our 4 small black screws. We'll put them to one side with the battery. Then what you're going to find is this case will simply come apart. Be careful, there is a speaker in one end. You can see just there the speaker. You'll also see there's the battery connector end, or the the screen section. You don't have to pop it apart, it's quite acceptable to leave in. The next thing you're going to want to do, just remove this lens. That's my lens. Let's have a careful look, and just in here, where I'm about to point, you'll see another screw. Pretty sure you're going to have to remove that screw too. We'll just carefully take them out now, and you'll see it all comes apart. This stuff is actually just holding the electronics in the plastic body, using the second size down screwdriver. So out they come. There's only 3 screws to worry about, don't lose your buttons. And don't forget that one just there, beside the ribbon strip. Sorry about it being out of focus there. Then once you get these 3 screws out, turn the whole thing on its side, and carefully, ever so carefully, remembering to take out your memory card. Now in this case my GoPro is damaged. Ever so carefully pull your GoPro apart. Ever so carefully. And that's a GoPro in pieces. Okay, the disassembled GoPro. There's our battery, there's our front case. Obviously it's a little different to this case. You can see that the little bit around the lens itself has been taken out. But what you're going to find now is you may need to get yourself a couple of folds of paper, and that's going to allow you to protect things a little bit. Just here, I'm not going to touch it, but just in there is the actual sensor. You don't want to go getting dirt on that, or scratching it, or damaging it at all. But the lens itself, this lens here, the black thing you can see I'm pointing to, is actually screwed into a screw thread inside here. You're going to need to unscrew it, so what you'll have to do is get yourself a pair of pliers. In that you've got a smashed lens, it's not really going to matter too much how you apply the pliers, but if you haven't got a smashed lens and you wish to reconvert your camera, I recommend you get some paper to protect the actual lens housing itself. It's a brass housing, it's fairly strong, but the problem then is you're going to have to shield the electronics. So we'll get some paper and we'll see just if we can demonstrate the system I used to get mine out. Can be rather fun because it's got Loctite on it of some sort. Okay, here we have the piece of paper. I actually ripped off one piece here, like so, and I folded it again, and again, and I made a wrap to go around the top of the lens that's sticking out of the GoPro. You'll no doubt have it there in yours, and this actually goes around here in situ, with the GoPro disassembled, I must add. So you're going to be wrapping that round the top of your circuit board, being very careful with your circuit board itself, and getting a pair of pliers and as little grip as you possibly can. Before you get that all assembled, you're going to need to grab your circuit board carefully, like so, with some paper. This is the fiddly bit. Then, with that stuck into the pliers, let's fold that back so you can see. With this stuck and protecting your lens and screen and pliers from putting too much damage into your old lens or new lens, you're going to carefully, and probably with a fair bit of force, undo your lens that direction. At which point you'll then be left with what I have in my hand here. Okay, then you can put that aside. Note these screws are actually longer than the other set. That's all 4 screws there. We have the 2 long screws that go at one end of the body to the electronic board, circuit board. We have the 1 short screw that comes from the screen end. Okay, the next thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to remove this actual piece here if you wish to use a type of lens that actually fits in through the hole in the body. So you'll then get a what you'll get is a knife. You'll need a single-edged knife, fairly sharp or serrated, it's not going to matter. Mine was hacked up, as you can see. What you're going to have to do is carefully with your fingers inside the case, I recommend, because it's going to be a tough cut, is cut through this section. Just slice it off neat with the face. And it's at this point we can assemble everything again. So I'll quickly assemble it all. We'll fast forward this bit and then you can see. Okay, and just to show you I've got a working GoPro, which is what you're going to end up with, we'll start it up. There's our GoPro screen. She's a runner and you can see the little sensor in there. This is fairly important to have a working censored GoPro and a working GoPro completely. Make sure you get this screen in the right location and your top button back in. This will help stop some dirt entry into the camera, especially seeing as it's going to be an unsealed unit. Okay, now for the next step. This is a lens I chose to install in my GoPro. As you can see, it's a fairly simple little lens. It's a focusable security camera lens. It's a 4 to 9mm f2.8. But what I've done here is I've actually taped around here a couple of layers until we get what's going to be a fairly tight press fit, into the GoPro metal housing. I recommend you clean everything first and have a good study of your camera. Especially look in here and get a camera cleaner kit, or somebody who has a digital camera, knows about digital cameras, to clean the sensor for you itself. If not, a very gentle wipe with a completely lint-free rag or a camera cloth. I'll just grab one of those as we speak. Or a camera cleaning bud, which I have here. I'll carefully clean that. Then when you're certain it's clean, make sure your lens is clean, both sides. This is important, otherwise you're going to have dirty results. Right, now carefully, once you've got the fit right, push in fairly firm in a screwing motion, and you'll see the tape will come back. At this point you'll need another screwdriver and carefully poke your tape in. There's no prize for being fastest, only for getting your camera together. So carefully poke your tape in. Then screw it round a bit more. This only needs to be as secure as you want it to be. And put it to a point you're going to know where it is, so you can adjust your focus as need be. And that's the whole fit up. There's your camera. The problem you're going to have once you do this is you're going to have to be learning to adjust your focal distance to and from an object. So we'll turn everything on. We'll set a focus distance, and then I'll see if I can demonstrate exactly what I'm talking about.